Hello and salut everybody. Question of the day is, do you recognize the will of God in your life? Welcome back to my channel. If you still have not subscribed, do me a favor, help a sister out. Subscribe right now. And if you're new to my channel, I welcome you. Subscribe right now, help a sister out, okay? And also check out the rest of my videos. Thank you very much for your support. So yes, my question is, I know it's a long question. Are you able to recognize the will of God in your life? This isn't related to my question of the day where I said my challenge, one of my spiritual challenges, knowing the will of God, not accepting it, but knowing what it is. I don't have a problem accepting it. Knowing what it is my challenge. And I want to clarify something. I didn't say, because again, I had this question. I didn't say that everything that I do, I don't recognize it all the time. It just sometimes. It's a struggle for me sometimes to know his will versus my will, or his will versus somebody else's will in my life. I don't always recognize it. So that is my challenge. That's my prayer. That is my request, prayer request from you guys. That is my prayer request. Is I don't recognize it all the time. Sometimes it's a challenge. So I was being open with you and sharing my challenges with you. So yes, I don't recognize it all the time. And I want to be able to recognize it all the time, because you know how sweet it will be to know God's will all the time. I know some people are blessed. I know some people they can hear, they can understand it. But again, remember, we're not all the same. All our blessings are different. Some people are blessed like that to recognize the will of God, but not all of us, because our blessings are different. So yes, that's one of my challenges, but it's not always, it's just sometimes. So I want to clarify that. And I still need your prayers. I still need your prayers. But the feedback that I got is, if you doing something good, if people are benefiting from what you are doing, or if people are telling you what you are doing is good, then that's how you know that is the will of God. And I'm making this video to tell you that that is not always the case. If you believe that everything that you do, just because it makes you feel good in your flesh, it makes you feel good in your mind, in your heart, or just because somebody tells you that is good, it makes them feel good, or you know that somebody's benefiting from that, I want to tell you that I want you to know that it's not necessarily God's will. It may not necessarily, let me correct myself, it may not necessarily be God's will. Because I have learned a lot by reading the Bible. I have learned a lot. I know I'm not an expert, but I have learned a lot personally. And I have been following the Kankuka program. I talked to you guys about that. And I have learned a lot because he teaches the Bible. He explains the Bible. From what I have learned, not everything, no matter how we feel about it, is the will of God. So the suggestion, what I do, again, this is just what I do. And I want to suggest for you to try. In case you are thinking everything that you do, as long as it's good, is the will of God. Or as long as somebody's praising you or thanking you, or you feel in your flesh that is good, it's good, so that you assume that is the will of God. Or just because things are going your way perfectly, you have no issues, that you are on God's side. I want to tell you to be mindful, to be careful by thinking that way, because it may not necessarily be God's will. Because we know Satan is powerful too. He can throw us off. He can bring something in our lives and we'll think that, oh my God, this is from God. But it may not be. So we have to be careful. And I'm suggesting what I do. Yes, I'm struggle sometimes. But what I do is, if I meet, for example, these are just examples I'm telling you. If I meet somebody today, I exchange number with somebody, I give it in God. I come home, I pray. I tell God, if this person is from you, then I thank you. Help me grow this relationship. But this person is not from you, take that person out of my life. If I'm looking for something, if somebody gave me an idea to do and anything, a business proposal, anything that comes my way, I pray about it. I wake up early in the morning and I pray. I leave it in God's hand. I say, God, if this is your will, I thank you. And help me get through it. Help me make it work. But if it's not your will, take it away. Take it away. Let only your will be done. So these are just examples. This is how I live. This is what things that I do. So if you're struggling, no matter who comes in your life, no matter how they look or how they appear to look, no matter what you have in your life, leave it in God's hand. Trust it in His hands. Tell Him if it's not yours, if it is not from you, close it. Close this door that is not of you. Remove this person in my life who is not of you. Take this away that is not of you. Let only your will be done in my life. And one thing that I want to say, so if you pray, let's say that somebody came into your life and you going to get a job, for example. Let me use that example. You're going to get a job and you pray about it. You say, God, if it is not your job, I don't want it. Let only your will be done. And you go and the interview does not go your way. You know you already prayed. You already asked Him to let His will be done, to let His kingdom come. You told Him if it's not of Him to take it away. So don't be disappointed. Don't beat yourself up. Accept it. And the next one will come. And you keep going and keep leaving it in His hands. That's how I do it. That's how I do it. Yes, it's a struggle sometimes. Continue to be a struggle sometimes. But that's how I do it every single day. That's how I do. And I know if you try this, it will work for you as well. You'll feel better when you lose something or something comes to your life. You'll feel better if you're already giving it to God, if you already put it in His hands, if you already trust it in His hands. I know it will make you feel better going forward, knowing whether you are walking in His commandment or whether you are doing His will. So will you try it with me? Will you try to see if you feel better? Will you try it? Will you? Please share this video with everyone you know. Subscribe again. If you still have not subscribed, I need your help. Subscribe right now. And also check out the rest of my videos. Thank you very much for your support. Please remember to stay safe and blessed.